Hello, this is a video review of the Eonon D5102 on the 2008 Mazda 3. First off, we're going to cover the hardware. This right here is the unit itself. It's got a button for selecting the source. It's got a button for going directly into Bluetooth phone mode. This is to go to the radio. So this is to mute your system, obviously. This knob here is used to turn the system on and off. By pushing it in, turns it off. Push it in again, turns it back on. This also controls the volume by turning the knob here. System is just starting back up. This button ejects any DVD that may be on the DVD drive here. This button goes to the navigation system. This is forward and backwards track, and this is for selecting your track. Pushing in will select it, or press enter for you. The microphone is right here for the Bluetooth phone system. This card contains any pictures, video, or audio you may have, MP3 files. And this card contains GPS data and other files, and there is a reset button here in case something goes wrong with the system. The system also has a remote control. It's powered by a button cell, and it can control the system from pretty much anywhere in the car. Also, the steering wheel controls work perfectly fine, as you can see here. It can change tracks, turn the volume up and down, mute the system, and the mode button will switch between modes. It's the same as hitting the source button on the unit itself. Now, on my system, I do not have the iPod connection plugged in. I don't have a USB cable or anything for this system, so I'm not going to be able to show that to you today. But the USB port is down at the bottom of the unit there. And as you can see, you can adjust the tracks on the remote control here as well, and adjust the volume and so on and so forth. And the mute button, unmute, etc. And as well, there is a setup menu which you cannot access without the remote control. And by pressing the setup button on the remote, and it will bring up this system menu here, which you can set your video settings. This is stuff you probably will only need to set once, if ever at all. You can adjust brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, that kind of thing, as well as DVD and passwords for blocking so children don't view inappropriate content, etc. And that's about it, so we'll go ahead and get started with the actual review of the system. One more thing I'd like to mention: if you hold down the mute button either on the unit, on the steering wheel, or on the remote, it will turn off your display while still maintaining sound. Just like that. Pressing any key will bring it back. Okay, so now we'll start with the main menu here. We'll start with the DVD mode, so I'm going to grab a DVD and just throw it in the unit. I'm just going to have to wait for it to load. It's just reading the disc right now. Just any movie DVD will work fine on the system. And it's now playing. If we touch the screen, we can go into the various system menus. There's an on-screen display which brings up a bar along the top here. Gives you basic information about the track and so forth. And you can also hide that information or view more information by tapping this button more often. If we hit the menu button here, it should take us to the main menu of this disc. This is Stranger Than Fiction, just in case anybody's wondering. And I believe you can touch the icons on the DVD. Yes, you can. So there you go. I have the clock turned in the corner here. You can turn that off. The other thing is there's a Bluetooth icon there indicating that my phone is currently connected to the system. The Bluetooth icon does not go away, so if that bothers you a whole lot, you'll have to disconnect your phone. I'm going to go ahead and eject the disc now, and it should take us right back to where we were before. The system does remember where it was last at when you turn it off, and it will resume. And I think we're going to go ahead over to the radio section now. So if we go back to the main menu, and then we tap radio.
It's providing the best Aboriginal talent in Canada, 52 weeks of the year. Check out the Westbrook Inn, 64 Q8 and join our Facebook.
Got the radio system here. And it shows the Mazda logo in the middle. The RDS is the radio data system, which is just data about what's happening or what's coming from it, what song is playing, which station you're listening to, that kind of thing. Not all radio stations support it. And we can tune to different stations just by tapping here, or using the arrows on the remote, or on the
tournament
here,
features 4 divisions.
or on the
The
steering
rec
wheel.
division has a first place prize of $30,000.
You can
while
also
the 35 plus division
tune, pressing the arrows here, to scan for the next available station. And to program a station, you just hold down the button on one of the free entries and it will store it. There's also various other options in here that you can go over in the manual, but all the steering wheel controls work perfectly fine in radio mode. And we're going to go back to the main menu. That's pretty much all there is to radio mode. It's fairly simple. We're going to go into Bluetooth. We will cover the GPS in another section. Now, this is the Bluetooth menu. It allows you to connect to your phone. In this case, it's a BlackBerry Bold. And essentially you can make and receive calls through the system. I'm just going to dial a number here and we'll see here. So type in the number and hit the call button. And the speakers in the car will be used for making the phone call. You can see on the phone here it's actually dialed out.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling MTS. For billing
now, if we press the S button here, it should switch off the speaker and onto the phone itself. And it has. Press the button again, it should switch back onto the speaker. And we're not going to complete this call, so I'm just going to hit the hang up button here. Before I do that, I'm just going to show you can turn the volume up through the steering wheel controls, or this.
To help us.
Press the hang up button here, and disconnect it. And back on again. Because we were last on radio, it was now on the radio again. It also has the ability to store telephone numbers from your phone. It'll be able to download entries. You cannot manually add entries, but it does have the ability to retrieve entries from your phone and store them on the system. Next we'll go over the Bluetooth audio by going back into the main menu here. And we're going to go over to Bluetooth music. And you'll notice there is a humming in the background. It seems to be there. I'm not completely sure why. It's probably some sort of antenna interference problem. There's not a lot you can do about it. But it's there. You have to live with it, kind of thing, if you want to use Bluetooth. It's not quite as noticeable when you're actually listening to music, but here we go. I'll put on the song. Just getting from my phone. Now you can control it by pressing the arrows on here. This will change between tracks. You cannot use the arrow keys on the steering wheel, however. This is an unfortunate problem. But the buttons on here will work. The knob also does not work on this particular situation. So you have to use a touch screen if you want to use Bluetooth music and you want to control the phone. You can also control it via the phone itself. That covers the Bluetooth music section. The Bluetooth does support definitely the BlackBerry, and the iPad seems to work okay. I believe the iPhone 4 should work with this system, but I don't have one myself, so I can't tell you for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now, and we will continue in the second part.